before this fight, I denied a multi-million-dollar contract from MVP Promotions to fight Jake Paul, and I'm fighting a real fighter tonight. So I'm not a part of that circus league of boxing. This is the real league of boxing. This is what I'm gonna do.
Jake Paul just got torched by Muhammad Ali's family, and true to form, he's not taking it well. The YouTuber turned boxer is lashing out after Nico Ali Walsh, the grandson of the legendary Muhammad Ali, gave him a serious verbal beatdown that's making waves across the boxing world. If you love drama in the ring or just enjoy a spicy celebrity showdown, grab your popcorn, because this one's sizzling hot. Here's what went down. Over the weekend, Nico Ali Walsh secured a dominant unanimous decision win over Sona Akale in Saudi Arabia, improving his professional record to 10-1. But it wasn't just the win that stole headlines. It was what Nico said after the fight that had everyone buzzing. In a post-fight revelation, Nico dropped a bombshell. He turned down a multi-million-dollar offer to fight Jake Paul. Why? Because he has zero respect for the influencer boxing scene. His exact words: "I denied a multi-million-dollar contract from MVP Promotions to fight Jake Paul. I'm fighting a real fighter tonight. I'm not a part of that circus league of boxing. This is the real league of boxing, and this is what I'm going to do." This bold statement came after critics accused Nico of being in the sport just for fame and money. But come on, this guy was practically raised in the ring. You can't write him off like that. And he didn't just talk the talk, he backed it up in the ring like a true champion. Sound familiar? That confidence, that fire, it's got shades of his legendary grandfather. So Jake, how does it feel being called a clown by boxing royalty?
One thing that's for sure I gotta clear, Teofimo Lopez said in an interview a few weeks ago before this fight, he said he disrespected my family, saying that I'm only in boxing because I'm desperate for money and fame. And I thought that was real wrong for someone that I used to look up to say. But you know, it is what it is. I just want to let everyone know that I chose the path of boxing. I chose the path of legacy. If I wanted to, I could be a millionaire right now.
Here's a life hack. Never go after Muhammad Ali's family, unless you're ready to dig your own grave. Hey Jake, did you catch the part where Nico Ali Walsh straight up called you a fake boxer? Ouch. Honestly, it's hard to feel sorry for Jake Paul at this point. Half the boxing world has already labeled him a clown, a fraud, and a con man. And now, with Nico Ali Walsh adding fuel to the fire, the spotlight just got hotter. Now we all know Jake Paul's reputation. His loudmouth, cocky persona often enters the ring long before he ever does. He's made a career out of calling out legendary fighters, yet rarely backs it up with serious matchups. That alone speaks volumes. Remember when Jake threw shade at boxing legends? Well, karma's working overtime these days, and she just might be a boxing fan. Naturally, Paul couldn't stay quiet after Nico's takedown. He jumped on social media like he always does and tagged Nico in a post saying, "LEL, I've been trying to fight this fraud and now he admits he ducked me, but calls me a circus act. Gifted a decision tonight because of his last name, SMH. Nice try, Jake, but that one kind of backfired. Nico didn't duck you. He just made the conscious decision to fight a real professional. Something you might not fully understand. And let's be honest, a lot of Jake's wins look more like PR stunts than actual tests of boxing skill. Sure, Jake's the name on everyone's lips. Love him or hate him, he knows how to stir the pot and dominate headlines. But being a pay-per-view star or a social media sensation doesn't automatically make you a real contender in professional boxing. Let's play a little game. I'll name Jake's most talked about opponents, and you count how many were prime professional boxers. Ben Askren, Tyron Woodley, Anderson Silva, Nate Diaz, Tommy Fury. Let me guess, you stopped at Tommy Fury. And yep, Jake lost that fight in a fashion that left his hype train wobbling. Embarrassing, right? Especially for someone who calls himself the best. Jake Paul turned his YouTube stardom into a boxing career, but is it really a boxing career or just a series of carefully curated events? With Nico's public dismissal, the Ali family just exposed a major crack in Jake's narrative. And let's not forget, Jake once took shots at Muhammad Ali himself. Not the brightest move and definitely not one that earned him any credibility in the sport. Nico's response wasn't just personal, it was symbolic. He reminded the world that real fighters don't come from viral videos. They come from discipline, years of training, and respect for the sport. As Nico put it, "My father trained his whole life for this, He wasn't built on YouTube views and circus matches. Honestly, if I disrespected a boxing legend, I'd expect a public call-out too. And that's exactly what happened. Even Layla Ali jumped in, lighting up the internet with a tweet that had fans roaring. But Jake didn't stop there. In true problem child fashion, he's now taking aim at another boxing icon, Mike Tyson. And believe it or not, that shot landed him the biggest fight of his career. Yes, you heard right. Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson is happening. And if that wasn't wild enough, Jake actually thinks he can knock Tyson out cold. Bold words. Delusional? Maybe. But hey, when has Jake Paul ever shied away from outrageous claims? These aren't rumors. These are Jake's own words. And if history has taught us anything, it's that Jake Paul's mouth often writes checks that reality struggles to cash.
I would win. Serious as a heart attack. I think he thinks that he would knock me out, and I think that is maybe the reason why he doesn't want to do the fight, because I think he wants to avoid maybe knocking me out.
He doesn't realize how good you are.
Exactly.
If he knew, maybe he would.
Maybe the fight would happen.
You think you can knock him out?
Can I ask you a question?
I think there's a very high chance of that. He's not the same fighter that he once was, and he knows that.
Don't get me wrong. We're all hyped for this one. Jake Paul is officially set to step into the ring with none other than Mike Tyson on November 15th at the AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. This could be the biggest moment of Jake's boxing career, his chance to finally prove himself against a real professional. And not just any pro. We're talking about the youngest heavyweight champion in history, a man who redefined fear inside the ropes, Iron Mike Tyson. Let's not forget, this is the same Tyson who bit off ears in the ring. The guy's a beast. And if I were Jake Paul, I'd be trembling in my boots right about now, but hold up. Before Jake even gets to Tyson, he's got another serious challenge in front of him. Unless you've been living under a rock, you know that the original Tyson versus Paul showdown was supposed to happen on July 20th, but it got postponed due to a health scare for Tyson. And hey, when you're nearly 60 and still stepping into the ring, these kinds of delays aren't shocking. But you know what they say? The show must go on. So here's the twist. Jake Paul won't be sitting July out. He's replacing Tyson on the card and stepping into the ring with a whole different kind of monster, Mike Perry. Now don't be disappointed, because this matchup might be just as wild. If you don't already know who Platinum Mike Perry is, let me put you on game. He's a former UFC brawler with a record of 14-8 in MMA. But his real dominance? That's been in bare-knuckle fighting, where he's undefeated at 5-0 and one of the biggest stars in the sport. Sure, his pro boxing record is 0-1. He lost his only bout, but don't let that fool you. Mike Perry is a walking war zone. And more importantly, he's been gunning for Jake Paul for years. That's right. Perry has wanted this fight since before Jake's boxing debut. They even sparred together, and let's just say it wasn't all hugs and handshakes. This time, Jake isn't stepping into the ring with another past his prime legend. Mike Perry is in his prime, hungry and ready to scrap. If Jake's not careful, Perry could easily ruin his Tyson dream by handing him a brutal loss in July. So, mark your calendars, because July 20th is about to be lit. It's Jake Paul versus Mike Perry, a YouTuber chasing boxing glory versus a bare-knuckle beast with something to prove. Whether you're Team Paul or Team Perry, one thing's for sure. This fight has chaos written all over it. And Jake, if you don't want to walk into the Tyson fight with a black eye, maybe stop going after the Ali family. Yeah? That's all for now. Fight fans, what do you think about the Ali family's smackdown on Jake Paul? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit that like button, and subscribe for more boxing drama and fight breakdowns. See you in the next one.